What do these courses contain? In the NPTEL project, the courses in the current phase have been prepared or are being prepared with multiple inputs. There is a lecture-based content. The lectures can be in the form of PDF files, or they can be in the form of a video recorded 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour lectures. But in addition to that, which forms a large part of the classroom teaching and learning, animations and visual aids, visual illustrations, and in some of these courses, video demonstrations of the laboratories and facilities relevant to the program, relevant to the particular course program, and sometimes even documentaries. And these are recommended to be prepared and included, and many courses do have some of them. In addition, we would like to add to these lecture materials and the supplementary animation materials case studies, anecdotal information like the evolution of the subject or the history of that particular program and all those things, the historical development of the subject. Sometimes these things are very important in understanding the process by which your learning happened over the last whatever period, maybe 100 years or 20 years or 50 years, it does not matter. The history of the evolution of a subject is as much important to a learner as the subject matter itself. Therefore, we would like to provide anecdotal information on these courses. At the end of all of this, of course, the students need problems, quizzes, and assignments in order to get a comprehensive learning sense. I mean, they should read the lectures, but at the end of that, they should be able to answer some problems, they should be able to solve some exercises and quizzes and so on. And therefore, some of these things are also put in to help the students for a slightly more comprehensive learning than listening to the subject matter. And these also help the teachers in distributing their learning material according to their own timetables and using additional problems that they can create and so on. So the process is to encourage other teachers also to build materials around what is already available, as well as materials that are independently required for their own students. Maybe you want to teach in the local language to many of the students. Use some of these lectures and translate them in your language and enable the cognition, that is the understanding of the subject matter, enable them in the local language itself. By design, each and every one of these course is to provide contents for about 40 lectures, and these can be used in the classrooms or for private study. And the curriculum for these courses has been developed, course by course, it has been developed by building and finding common curricula across multiple affiliating universities that Indian engineering institutions are often associated with. Anna University in Tamil Nadu, that is Chennai, for example, has more than 500 colleges affiliated to it. The Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, which now has 3 different JNTUs, has more than 600 colleges affiliated to it. The Visvesvaraya Technological University in Karnataka State, in BTU, it's in Belgaum, has more than 200 colleges. Therefore, we do look at the curricula that many affiliating institutions have frozen, and we use that to form the curriculum for these NPTEL courses. These are not just the lectures of IIT syllabi alone. I will show you some examples of this and also a little bit about what the other projects under the National Mission on Education have been doing. And here is a sample of a few of these courses. What do they contain and so on. This is an example of a course by Dr. Ranjit on biomathematics. Typically what these courses contain are lectures. This is a video course, therefore you could see that Professor Ranjit sitting and talking about the same way that I do with the slides. Or as you see at the bottom of the screen, you see that the professor may use a projected document screen or a camera onto a white sheet or even a tablet PC in order to write the materials. Basically write that on the tablet and so it gets projected onto the screen immediately. So on. So this is a format by which lectures can be prepared. Here is another format, the most familiar format to all of us, namely the chalk and talk, and done most brilliantly by Professor Balakrishnan in his course on quantum mechanics, classical mechanics, nonlinear dynamics, and pretty much all of physics we have requested him to record in the next few years, and he is more than willing to do that. The lecture requires minimal technology. I mean, you have to follow him, follow the lecturer, and the speaker is coherent and clear, and later on the text of what he has spoken can always be made, and the lecture is what you would normally listen to in a class, but it is recorded for the future, for everybody else to listen to. The other type is also a classroom lecture in which you have both the classroom chalk and talk board, and then at the bottom of the screen you can see that the professor has also provided printed learning materials, helpful guides and references, etc. So these things can all be provided by the individuals. And here is another example of a text-based PDF file-based course, but the images that you see here are images created by the professor with our own studio staff. All these lecture materials are freely available on the internet. Therefore, we do take the copyright issues very seriously. We request professors not to take materials straight from the textbook, even if the textbook was published by them, because the copyright may be owned by the publisher. And therefore, images are created, studio staff members, I mean, people who are familiar with the creation of images, Photoshop and other things, are provided as help to the professor, and then the contents are created in-house. An example of a chemistry course, which is my own discipline, by Professor Punyamurthy, I believe, from IIT Guwahati, where the software use is necessary. ChemDraw, for example, is one of the most important softwares that chemistry faculty have to use to draw structures, to show simple reaction schemes, and so on. So wherever we need a software specific to a particular course, we provide that to the faculty member to build the course contents, but the viewer will not require any commercial software to view them. The whole thing would be put in on the browser so that the viewer will need only free platforms like a PDF reader or a Flash viewer and so on, but no commercial softwares. And the other last example that I would like to give you is an example of a video lecture in which the experimental demonstration is done in front of the camera, is recorded in the camera, I mean, as part of the lecture itself. Probably the most referenced course in the whole of NPTEL website is the lecture by Professor T.S. Natarajan, Basic Electronics. His very first lecture has reached more than 1.2 million viewers in the YouTube alone. And the lecture is addressed to high school, to the first year college students, and basic electronics being such an important course, required course for the entire engineering branch. You could see that the demonstrations and the breadboard and various other types of displays help the learner enormously, and no wonder these lectures are among the most popular video-based lectures on NPTEL. Okay. Now, that's for the NPTEL project. The National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology was formally launched by the Ministry of Human Resource Development in 2009, February 2009. And as part of the national mission, one of the objectives of the national mission has been to create educational materials, online laboratories, and even tools required for content delivery, content preparation, and so on, in large scale, not just in engineering and technology as the NPTEL would initially focus, but in all other areas: arts, science, humanities, medicine, literature, and if you wish, agriculture. I mean, think about all the areas in which the universities offer degree and diploma programs, all the higher education areas. And as part of it, the virtual labs was developed, or is being developed, by a team of multiple IITs and other institutions, you can see that there are several IITs involved, and the IIIT, that is International Institute of Information Technology, Hyderabad, Amrita University, Dayalbagh University, the National Institute of Technology, and the College of Engineering, Pune, many partners for creating labs online. And these labs are done with the following motivation, namely that physical distances, or sometimes you can't surmount them. I mean, you have to visit a lab which is not in the right place. Let me go back to the slide. Costly equipments, they may not be possible to share these things in multiple laboratories, and therefore you have to do that where they are available. And the proliferation of very many quality labs online, these were the motivations for creating the virtual lab demo and the simulation experiments online. The physical lab may be located in some place, but through the internet, multiple users can access these labs and do the experiments through control processes. And the objectives are, as you see here, remote access to the labs in various science and engineering disciplines, to cater to students at the UG and the undergraduate and the postgraduate level, to enable the students to learn at their own pace and enhance their curiosity, and also use all these things using the learning management system. I guess I'm coming close to the timeline for the first lecture, so let me quickly move to the other two small programs which would hopefully grow into a much larger group of programs for the country. The virtual lab is available through the vlab.co.in website. I request all of you to go to the site and find out the experiments and do them online. The other most important academic program that is coming again as a program with the consortium of institutions is the design program and creating digital learning environment for that. This is done by IIT Bombay with Professor Ravi Puvaya as the chair, and there are many partner institutes to that. And there are multiple themes. The digital online content is one of them. The digital design resources that you could use for creating your own design courses, create a network of learners, and also create a network for learning, and use the National Mission on Education support for creating all these things financially in a financial model. And there are many items like the design courses, the full resource documentations for many design crafts, video lectures, case studies of good design projects, and documentation for design processes and others. All these things are slowly being added to the website called the dsource.in, and I would like you to visit the dsource.in and be benefited by what is provided there. And some of the simple pictures and design drawings that you can find in this website are quickly browsed through here, but please visit the website for more details that you want to see. Okay. Now, with this, let me come to the end of part 1, and I will start in the next part the processes that require the way we wanted to build e-learning, and what are the various things you as teachers or even as students can contribute to this process of e-learning through either pedagogy or through the organization of course contents in specific forms and in many other ways. And there are tools and technologies that I would like you to consider. So let me stop at this point, this particular lecture series as a part 1 where I have introduced you to some of the tools which are available. Let us see what we can do with it in the next slide. Until then, thank you very much.